Gemara in Tanit tells us about Choni Amagel. Choni Amagel had a major problem that bothered him for years. The first pasuk in the 126th Psalm in Tehillim Kuf Chav Vav, where it says, "B'shuv Hashem Hashiva Tzion Hayinu Kechol." Choni Amagel says that the Tehillim says that after 70 years in the Babylonian exile, the return to Israel, it was as if we were dreamers. It bothered Choni Amagel's entire life. He said to himself, who's dreaming for 70 years? Who dreams for 70 years of exile? Now, of course, we all know that the simple interpretation of the pasuk is that those returning to Israel felt like they were dreamers. But Choni was very concerned. He said to himself, what's going on here? The people who went into exile, it wasn't a dream for them. The people who came back, B'shuv, those who come back, for them it's a dream. But for the ones who went into exile, that's no dream. So how can you say, oh, we came back, it was like a dream, amazing. He says, who dreams for 70 years? 70 years of exile don't pass as a dream. 70 years of exile are miserable. So the Gemara goes on and it tells us basically that Choni falls asleep for 70 years and he wakes up and nobody recognizes him. He's an unknown. But one thing he finds, one thing Choni finds, he goes into the yeshiva and he hears them saying, oh, this idea could have been said by Choni Amagel. 70 years later, he hears that he's remembered. And in the Gemara's understanding of things, this is the answer to Choni's problem. Choni's problem was, how can you say it's a dream to come back when you know that it was a nightmare for those who went away? How can you say it's a dream to be redeemed when it was a nightmare for those who were exiled? And you know what the answer the Gemara gives, which seems to be almost too gentle? The Gemara says, even if we don't recognize you, Choni, if we remember you, you're still here. Even if we don't recognize the people who went into exile because we don't know them, if we remember them, they're still here. What makes this Torah so significant, what makes this Torah so special, is that we today can look around and say, you know, things are pretty good. For Jews around the world, they have such high attainments, educationally and economically. We're back in the land of Israel. Everything's good. But I gotta tell you, if it's gonna be a dream for us, we better make sure it's a dream for everybody who's passed through Jewish history. Many people have gone through dire straits to bring us here. Many people, many generations have had to endure all sorts of hardships to bring us here. If we're going to say for us it's a dream, we better make sure that we remember them. And that's the lesson of the Gemara. Just a moment ago, Eddie was telling me that he still has nightmares. He still remembers what happened to the Jewish children during the Shoah. What we can do, it's not very much. But if we remember them, at least they can be part of this redemption as well. And for us, that's something precious. This Torah is a special Torah, Eddie, but in particular, it's a special Torah, not just because of the person who's spearheading it, and in whose honor we're making it. Not just because it's going to help our children, but because we're going to remember. And whenever we remember, we can say, not only have we done what we're supposed to, but we can continue to say, Am Yisrael Chai. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we can say, Am Yisrael Chai.
You?
What shall I say? Thank you for everybody, and everybody is a partner in that, because the mitzvah is so big that everybody is a partner. And without the people, I cannot do. Lo alechem levado yichudam. Not on bread alone can live a person. What shall I tell you? It's a day, a rebirth of mine. I cannot concentrate, but whatever it comes, I tell you. Lives is something that people have to live with the future, but also not to forget the past. You don't look on the front wheels, you have to look on the back wheels too. And this is life. In life, there's only a few things what's missing. It's missing a have to, and a person should love each other and forgive. And the second is, you should not forget that education of a kid is important. Sei gesund.